Monday, August 18th, please rise. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had, I guess we should. Yeah, we had executive session from 5 to 6, talking about legal and personnel issues. And Janet, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Boyce?
Here.
Mr. Boba?
Here.
Mrs. Burns? Here. Mrs. Delaney? Here. Mrs. McBride? Here. Ms. Mungo? Here. Mr. Ritter?
Here.
Dr. Singh?
Here.
Mrs. Warning?
No presentations. Do I have any board member discussion items?
I just want to say regarding the event that Gateway School District had on Thursday with the backpack giveaway, it was done very nicely, a huge turnout. Janet, thank you. I know you were very involved with that. And it was amazing. So glad it went very well.
Anybody else?
It'd be great if that existed, just saying.
Was that good? What flavor did you
I
get?
want to bring that in more often. Sure.
It's good.
And I did cut the line, I apologize.
Okay, we have, under 4, we still have 2 items that are tabled, the food service vehicle and the digital scoreboard sponsorship for the sports complex gym. Does anybody want to table them or have any questions?
John makes a motion on table.
Both or,
Oh, please.
okay,
Second to both.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, do we have any questions?
So just to be clear, for the food service vehicle, is just allowing them to get bids, correct?
That was the initial was to get the bids.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I saw what they're asking for the specs, and we just need to get up
Wasn't
the
the
price.
price. Yeah, it was for, put it up for a bid.
I don't think we ever got an answer exactly where it was in the budget, though. They were supposed to be on the budget, but no one ever gave us a specific line item that it was covered on the budget.
That's right.
I'll email it to you. It's in Martin's budget, food service under supplies.
It was
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, please, because she's right, Donna's right.
All right, so I'm going to repeat again. First of all, I haven't heard the difference in cost between a van, which we've been told we need, and a refrigerated van, nor has anyone yet given any evidence that we've been in any kind of negative position not having a refrigerated van. We never lost a piece of cheese in transport. There's never been a problem. Somebody just wants a refrigerated van. So I want to be on the record again. Until someone makes some kind of case as to how this makes us a better, more efficient district or saves us money, do this forever. But the answer for me is no. So.
Well, we're just, I guess that one of your questions is what's the difference between the price of the refrigerator? But we haven't sent it out to bid to find out what the answer to that question is.
So we're not going to have a bid for the van without refrigeration, so I don't know how we're going to have the answer at the end of this bid, but we're going to know it's how much this thing costs.
Oh,
We could do both. We could do both.
Okay, well, that's not,
Yeah,
that's
we could
all
do
we're
both.
doing, so.
Could I make a motion to have a bid sent, to have a request for bid for refrigerated and unrefrigerated?
But we still need to know, like Donna said.
It's in the budget.
Yeah.
We'll get that for the weekly.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Martin because he started compiling some stuff, then it got tabled. So
Second.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor of doing an additional bid for a regular type van and in addition to the refrigerated van?
So we have a comparison.
Yeah, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Okay.
And then 4.2, the digital scoreboard. Does anybody have any questions or look at anything that was presented?
I looked at what was presented, and frankly, I didn't quite understand. When this was brought up last time, there was one vendor that we were told about. And we were given a sort of imperative because there were only 30 scoreboards and they were going fast. And maybe Plum had to pay their own money for it. And while we were doing it, I Googled, there are a number of other companies. So I couldn't gather from what we got. Were there other bids that someone else?
No. Dawn did search and contact some other individuals. Dawn, you want to talk a little bit about that? Companies?
Sure. They're kind of a unicorn in the sense that they partnered their own three parts. They bought the machinery from a third party company. This company started as a side of the road advertising company on digital boards, digital media. They bought the scoreboards from Digital Scoreboards and basically partnered with the sports software to go ahead and turn those digital boards into scoreboards. And then, you know, the market for them was high schools. I spoke with Daktronics, I spoke with OES, I spoke with Watchfire. None of those companies posture it that way. They all say, we'll sell you the equipment and then you can advertise on it, or you can partner with a third party like a company called Power Ad, who typically is a little bit lower scale. Maybe they'll go as high as $50,000 for a sideline table or a small scoreboard, but then they'll keep all the advertising until they're paid off and then split the revenue with you. So they kind of are the only ones operating in the fashion that they are. And what they're doing is they're putting $153,000 of equipment that they purchased, they're giving it to us, and then they're asking us to have the 75% of the advertising, and hopefully they're going to recoup their money and be good at what they do, provide a lot of advertising on our board, and we get the equipment, they get the advertising revenue, 75% of it, and we do have to buy. We want it to be a scoreboard for all the sports that we have in the gym, so we buy the software from them for $7,500. And again, theoretically, as we discussed the last time, if they're trying to pay off $150,000 or so in their investment, we're looking at a $30,000 per year. That would give us, our quarter of that would give us our 7,500. And again, it wouldn't be directly, accounted that way. This is to pay for it, but we would make 7,500 in advertising revenue from that arrangement at least, and that would pay for the software. That is the theory of what we'd like to do. If they're not making that number, yes, we're paying for that software to run our board every year, in the interim. But again, if they're not making their number, then they're not doing a very good job, and it's a bad investment. Quickly, Montour and Blackhawk have recently. Montour's finished the installation. Blackhawk is installation in progress. And I think there's one more Pittsburgh area school. And again, I spoke with schools in Eastern PA, Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois, one in Kansas. And again, I got a lot of good feedback, or I wouldn't push this to the board if I felt that it was had any shortcomings or huge issues or negative feedback. So again, that's the long and short of it. Hopefully that explains, but if there's questions, please hit me with them. I'll try my best.
So I looked on their website, and they also have another option where they can take the scoreboards that we currently have, and they will assist us with getting sponsorship. And I think we get a higher percentage of that income. Also, I did see that, yes, we pay for the software annually, but also if there's any problems with it, maintenance, needs to be repaired, that is our responsibility.
Right. Well, to your first point, our current scoreboard is not a video board or a digital scoreboard. It is an analog, light bulb scoreboard. So we could certainly sell advertising on that, maybe things around it, physical signs around it. But again, the move forward is to go digital, and the advertising is actually on the giant screen.
Dawn, when they do these contracts with the companies for advertising, do they get multi-year contracts? Because otherwise, every year they're out there. And the only way the safety factor would be multi-year contracts for this advertising. Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they structure each of their advertisement packages, but I know that they try to approach, all the people that you think would touch the people that are in the gym. Parents come to games, so they're talking about, dentists and orthodontists. They're talking about, grocery stores and insurance companies and restaurants and some national chains, some local things. And again, they're going to try to go ahead and sell to those people that are in the gym things that would benefit them. And again, I think they've had a good track record with everybody I've spoken with, and again, I'm excited about upgrading our gym significantly at a very tiny investment from the district.
Robin's point is well taken. If we are going to have to be responsible for repairs, what does that look like? Do we know, like if
Well,
something
I
has?
mean, it is brand new, state of the art equipment. Certainly, there's some. I know we had our electricians and Myco looking at any power upgrades we'd need to have, and any cables that would need to be run. But they would be under warranty. It wouldn't be like they say, "Here's your machine, good luck." It's under warranty. But yeah, if there are some things that we would be responsible for making sure that if we had power issues or anything like that, that would be on us.
That's
Like our current scoreboard is.
That's a 1-year warranty?
I didn't think it was 1 year. I thought it was at least a 3-year warranty, maybe more than that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I don't think one is accurate, but I don't have it in front of me right now. I'm sorry. The
I'd
number.
like to know how long the warranty is.
Dawn, do you have this in your budget as far as the subscription to it,
7,500?
7,500?
Well, we didn't have these boards in the past, so they're not in this year's budget. They'd be in every follow-on budget.
Okay.
I would just suggest this, when Mike wanted to change banks, he gave us a bank he wanted. And we suggested, maybe we'd like to hear from other banks. And other banks, after you sifted through a number of them, I think we were down to 2 or 3, did presentations for the board. So that, we knew that due diligence was performed, which is like our one job, is to make sure the money's spent correctly. And we had some input into who did appear to be the best entity, but we followed ultimately your recommendation and made the wrong choice. I'm just kidding. We followed your recommendation. So I just don't understand why we're not doing the same process
we could.
for this thing. And I understand it's only $7,500 out of pocket, so potentially it's an excellent addition to the district. I just don't understand why we don't make a habit of doing things in a more systematic,
Consistent.
verifiable way so that people know where to go. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I apologize if I'm not being articulating it clearly enough. They're the only ones doing it like this. I called Watchfire. I asked for a quote. They said, "Here's what it'll cost you to put those 2 boards in your gym. It will cost the Gateway School District." Then you can sell advertising, or you can partner with a third-party company and try to recoup, have them do your advertising and cut a deal on the percentage, like a power ad, where they keep all the advertising until it's paid off. OES, same story. They're the ones who already did our scoreboard in the stadium and also our scores table, and we've been a great partner with them. But they don't provide this service. This company, Watchfire, is the third one. You buy equipment from them, and then you can sell advertising, but it starts with your investment in buying the equipment. This is an advertising company that started in advertising on the side of the road, did digital advertising. This guy, from his wealth, bought up, partnered with Digital Scoreboards, bought their equipment, and now is basically putting it in schools with the idea that he can make his money on the advertising from the boards. Watchfire won't quote you here, we're going to give you a board and you sell the advertising, or we sell the advertising. They don't advertise. Watchfire does not have an advertising component to their company, nor does Daktronics, nor does OES, or anybody else that we reached out to. So it's hard to get a quote when they're the only ones doing it this way. I can tell you what it would cost to put this equipment in, roughly the same as what we're paying or what we're getting from them, $153,000. It would cost that for us out of the district to put them in. We did a quote a couple years ago, and we had a couple more bells and whistles. We had a road marquee. We had a big screen on the outside of the sports complex that Dr. Short wanted to do, and that was pushing $400,000 to do the digital scoreboards in the gym and those other 2 pieces of equipment. So the difference is I can't go and get you a quote from OES on what equipment will they give us for essentially for free and advertise and keep the advertising, because they're the only ones doing it as far as I know.
So on the
Let me say
last,
something,
Go ahead.
guys. First of all, let the public know, we don't need a new scoreboard. The scoreboard that's in there is functioning. If the scoreboard wasn't functioning, then we were in a different situation. And $7,500, when you add all those $7,500 we get trapped into, adds up to a lot of money.
In
And I-
Dawn's sort of defense, Dawn, we have a chance to earn that back and then some, correct?
But.
Yeah,
do-
the goal would be to, yeah.
But, you know, if,
I agree with you.
yeah,
The
it's
one
not
awkward
critical,
part of
it's
this,
not a
Dawn,
critical purchase.
is, you know, when I did my quick Google search, I found companies that seem to offer the exact same $7,500 thing. So if I saw it wrong, my apologies. And now I'm going to research it again, and I don't want to be doing that, but I will, because just statistically, unicorns are pretty unusual things. So the idea that someone came up with this wonderful mousetrap and no one else does it, I'm just cynical enough to think, yeah, I doubt that.
I think another relevant question for the board to know is how long does this company retain the advertising rights? So if it's 10 years, or is it forever? How long, at what point can then the school district go out and hire their own company to advertise and maybe recoup more money? But I think that's relevant to what you need to know.
The initial agreement on the table is 10 years.
I'm sorry?
The initial agreement that we're talking about that's on the table from this company is a 10-year agreement.
10 year, okay.
Dawn, when I spoke to management, they'd be happy to come in and do a presentation. I'm going to suggest we do that. And then-
They're actually, you know, obviously asking to, and you know, again, those can get lengthy. Certainly, I mean, maybe that's what we need. But you know, we've sort of said, you know, we'll present it to the board as we do
Okay,
many things. We're happy to bring them in.
We'll coordinate that with their availability.
We still had other questions than last time that I don't think I've heard the answer to. So one was installation costs. There was supposed to be some questions on getting that actual estimate for how much it was gonna cost for us to install, because we're still responsible to run some cables. And then the football ad revenue, right? So we have the other school board in the football stadium. We sold revenue. Do we get an annual payment for that, or is that all one time?
The medallions are up in the...
Yes.
Okay, the first one is they do the installation. We do not. They do the installation.
And she's
We have
talking
to
about
provide
the cabling.
Yeah, we had
power
to do
and
some
cable.
extra cabling and power to it that I think might go.
Yeah, we have that. He has that. He just has that.
Yeah, he has that, but again, we asked for it last time.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the, unless I
Yeah,
missed
he
it
just
something
got it.
else.
And they will honor any existing advertising agreements that you have, including, you know, let's say that we have Phil DiVicente on the scoreboard in the stadium. He would then be added to the advertising in the gymnasium as a courtesy because he's already signed an agreement with the district. So
Yeah,
they would
yeah,
honor
that-
all that advertising.
That wasn't my question. My question is, how much do we get on an annual basis for the scoreboard in the stadium? And if it was a one-time payment, I don't think that gets them the right to then advertise elsewhere, so.
They're moving forward with the new sponsorship packet. It's annually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so have we sold anything on the new sponsorship packet?
We have. It's coming in. I think I mentioned there's some things we're still negotiating with. So there's a couple of them I don't want to announce just yet.
Does that have anything to do with what Jeremy is doing?
Yes.
That's the same difference.
Yes.
And there's still a discussion about where that revenue is going to be. 'Cause
That's going to go into the general fund. We'll talk about if we want to do another.
Because now we're doing multiple advertising things on multiple
We
places.
to be clear, we started the sponsorship packet before this even it
Yeah,
started.
But now it's all there. so.
And it is hard for one person to do it that's half-time. And he's doing a good job. We're trying to get some things moving here. We've got some momentum, some legs, that we've got some sponsorships, but it is, this is what this company does, though.
I think we just need to see them in the
So
flesh.
do we want them for the study session in
We'll see.
September?
Well,
if possible?
we could potentially get their calendar, on our calendar, if we want to do that in September.
Does that sound good to everybody?
See if they're
Look for
available.
this, and if there's another
Yeah, for
option.
7,500 a year.
like,
something like
He
Jack.
can invite, we'll reach out, OES and the others that we deal with.
Status keeping
So then I think it gets tabled again because we are not actually taking action on it, correct?
And so I make a motion that we table 4.2.
Second it.
All in favor of putting the digital scoreboard sponsorship, tabling it again until we do the programs both? No,
And we're doing with the two.
Digital.
We're doing the bids.
yeah.
Okay.
So all in favor of retabling the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Anybody opposed? No, okay. Mr. Zarellis,
Thank you, Mr. McBride. Financial reports, item 5.1, list of bills August of 2025, and item 5.2, the financial statements for June of 2025.
okay. Next, we have personnel for Mr. Brinch, and these are action items.
Thank you, Mrs. McBride. Item 6.1, resignations, individuals listed 1 through 9 is contained herein. Item 6.2, sabbatical for restoration of health. 6.3, intermittent FMLA leave for the 25-26 school year. Item 6.4, items 1 through 15, new hires. Item 6.5, volunteers listed 1 through 8. Item 6.6, approve the supplemental cyber teachers as contained herein. Item 6.7, recommend acknowledgement of employee number 1236 intent and clearance to return to work early from a sabbatical for restoration of health reasons effective 8/15/2025. And item 6.8, approve the list of STA and association driver lists. Both of those are 2 of our transportation companies.
Do I have a second? Anybody have any questions regarding section 6 of personnel?
I received 2 resignations of our nurses. Do we have new ones to fulfill those?
No, those are currently the certified school nurse. We will be holding, it being a part of the Gateway Education Association, we can hold that individual for up to 60 days. We did inform her that we will be holding her and we'll release her as soon as we can. The staff nurses, which is an LPN, that both those positions have been posted, but as of right now, we do not have anyone for either one of those.
Do we know what's, oh yeah, we did. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not reading.
So how are we with teachers and everything now for the?
We're good with teachers. We are looking for a substitute due to an FMLA leave for elementary special education. We did have a candidate, but as with many special education teachers, she did land a full-time position with another district. So we'll be filling that with a day-to-day sub until we can land someone with that certification. And we are looking for some paraprofessionals. After bidding had happened in the last couple of weeks and movement took place. So we have a couple of paraprofessional positions open that we've also reached out to our subservice ESS to help provide coverage.
Okay. And for any administrative or secretary, those
Yes.
are all.
So we are looking for a coordinator of transportation. We will also be looking for an assistant facilities director. And we're also looking for an administrative assistant for Evergreen Elementary School. We do intend to have a recommended candidate for the assistant principal at the high school for next week's meeting.
Okay. And all these are able to be posted?
All of these are posted on our website. Many of the positions are also posted on Indeed. And some will be filling through our subservice.
But until then, all of those functions or duties have been absorbed, so there won't be any hiccups with transportation, as long as the community knows that. And if there's any issues, they have a number to call.
We have a slide for that at the end
Oh,
of it.
perfect, okay.
Yeah, with the standard number
Yeah.
that was answered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On 6.6, I was just curious, there's all the supplementals. How many cyber students do we have this year? What is our total? Do we have a figure? I was just curious.
Well, I can get you the list. She's still, because they're coming in, I mean, registrations are coming in all week.
All for cyber, you're saying?
For cyber, for in-person as well.
I just wonder, because I know that's as needed, so,
Well, what that means by as needed is there's this is everyone that applied. We might not need all those teachers, but come January, we might, because sometimes we find that some students come in and exit in January. And so these teachers, it's kind of the pull.
It's a tentative
Yes.
list
Yep.
based on where we're at. I just wondered if you had a clue where you were right now.
I'll get you that number.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
because there are some singleton courses, and it's always hard to determine if you full-time student versus a student that might be taking a class or two. But we'll get you those numbers.
Yeah, and also, because you were looking at the kids who are coming to us from charter,
Yes, yeah.
did you?
Well,
track
we're in the process of looking at through that residency verification. We're still, that's our first stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you figure that out, that'd be curious to see that. Thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe at the end of the school year, they had close to, if not over 500 students in cyber.
Is that how many
Not all
last
full-time,
year?
though. That's the
Right.
thing, yeah, yeah.
There.
So it could be roughly 200 students full-time, and then other kids that could take it half-time. There's just,
Yeah, configuration based on the
Right.
the classes
Yes.
they wanted to.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions for personnel?
I do. So the driver list, I assume that all the clearances are held through their direct employer.
Yes, so
Okay.
both employers provide the list of
And
clearances.
that's a full list of all people who could drive for us?
Yes.
Okay. And then the volunteers in 6-5, I know there's a lot for the band. I think I've asked before, do we have the list of the chaperones approved for that overnight trip yet?
Talk to Mr. Mateo, he has that, he's
Okay.
already on it, and he's gonna provide that for me.
Okay.
Yep.
And I know the student to chaperone ratio, and then staff members who are attending.
Yeah, he was gonna do that coming this week, because they're all
Okay,
back now.
yeah, 'cause they're just
Yeah,
back,
come
but-
yeah.
Yeah, because we approved that with a general thing,
Yeah.
knowing that we didn't know how many
Yep.
kids were going or how many chaperones or anything
Yep.
else, so. So follow up to that.
Yep.
Anybody else? Janet, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bova. Mrs. Burns.
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mrs. McBride.
Aye.
Ms. Mogo. Aye. Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Dr. Sings.
Aye.
Mrs. Horning.
I except for 6.4.6, I abstain.
Mrs. Boyce.
Aye.
Dr. Chaky, administrative resolutions.
Thank you, Ms. McBride. Item 7.1, approve the 25-26 local education agency letter of agreement for Pennsylvania education for children and youth experiencing homelessness. 7.2, we have 4 policies as listed for adoption. 7.3, approve the debate club at Gateway High School. 7.4, approve the affiliation agreement between Gateway School District and Seton Hill University. Item 7.5, approve the MOU between Gateway School District and the GEA for cyber instruction. 7.6, approve the training opportunity for Foundation Standard Response Protocol Standard Reunification Method Training. Item 7.7, approve the Junior Achievement BizTown Training. 7.8, approve the agreement between Gateway School District and Hoffman Academy for the 25-26 school year. 7.9, approve the school-wide plans. 7.10, approve the board-certified behavior analyst agreement for the 25-26 school year. Item 7.11, approve the agreement between Gateway School District and Care Options for Kids. 7.12, approve the purchase of AI classes through LocoRobo Innovations, Inc. 7.13, approve the PSBA session for Dr. Rossi to attend.
Does anybody have any questions on section 7 for Dr. Chaky?
Yes. In 7.2, policy 707, that we keep going back and forth, that we had it on for approval. What have we changed? What is the difference from past to before, till now? Do we have what the changes are? I think, Mr. Walsh, you were working on that.
John?
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was having trouble getting the microphone to click on.
There was more regulations, John, but there was one change to the cost essentially for custodians, I believe.
Yeah, for the cost of the custodians, we looked at the amount of we were giving for free for category B on the weekends. So we as the administration decided that to start charging the outside groups who are Class B, that would not include any of our student groups that we have in the buildings, they will be charged for custodial for the weekends.
Wasn't there a deposit too, John? Was that added in there?
That's more of an administrative regulation, but that was added and as administrative regulation.
But that's going to impact costs too, because you're going to take a deposit and based on what transpires, then they'll have money deducted from their deposit, right?
Well, we'll double check that.
You'll
Yeah,
double
we'll double check the deposit.
Okay,
Yeah.
couple questions. 7.3,
I think it
there's
was
no
not for
cost to
Cat
us for the debate club?
There's no supplemental?
There's no
It's
supplemental?
a supplemental. There's no supplemental stipend for it.
Oh, okay.
The teacher's doing it.
With no supplemental.
They're just doing it because they
Yep,
want to do it?
yes.
Oh, well, that's very nice. We should have had a debate club because that's critical. I like the agenda, which was great.
I don't agree.
You don't think the debate? I told him the other day that I'm gonna miss his sarcasm. He says he's not sarcastic. Yeah, you're keeping it real.
other way, Jack. I was wondering what it would be like to be married to somebody who was like a champion on the debate club.
That is strange. Also, 7.8, this Hoffman, I looked them up. They're associated with the Gettysburg School District. What do they do for us?
So that's a residential?
Is that a residential?
Yeah, it's a residential facility
Yeah,
for,
'cause-
these are for students that, there's a medical necessity.
For them to reside. It's funny, in their advertising, they say get associated with Gettysburg. That's why I wondered about that. And 710, my favorite subject. So we're going to have Patton work with us so many hours, correct? And how many hours is Patton working with us?
That's going to be as an as-needed basis, like this item 7.10, it's only as a consult because some of the items, a BCBA is written into some of the IEPs still, so we have to
Correct.
provide that service.
Consult service. Yeah.
Correct. So, but I was wondering, because usually Patton lays out the plan and the BCBA, as we talked about, implements it. So is these two are in conjunction with each other, Patton and this, will work, they're like together, they're meshed together?
Yes, but we're going to rely on this item here on 710.
You're going to
for the
rely on
consult.
this more than Patton now?
Yes.
There's the Patton Initiative is more of the coaching.
Yes.
Yes.
And they lay out the plan and then they
Yeah,
have
this is more to support students in their IEPs.
on their IDPs, right, that's what the whole process is about. And this is about 14 hours, I think, something like that? It's about max 14 hours.
That total.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna see how this goes, doing it like this, and,
Yeah, we don't anticipate that we're going to need that many hours. I mean, this is just like we said, a consult with some of the stuff that's already in the IEPs.
but if push came to shove, you would call Patton and actually have them work with the district too?
Patton is working with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
to continue to do that.
Yes.
In conjunction,
Yes.
so you'll have
Yes.
two things going
Yep.
at once. Okay,
Yep.
that's what I wanted to know.
I do have one more question on the policy 707. Did we put in here for any category, if they don't show and we had to hire custodians for their no-show, that they will be billed for the minimum of 4 hours what it costs the district to pay the custodian?
John, did you hear?
I did hear that. I do believe that was put in. I'm going to have to review the whole policy again to make sure, but that was one of the original suggestions that we had to put in there, and I do not believe that it came out. But I will let you know for sure.
Because I do see the refundable $250 security and damage deposit under these. I'm not seeing that for any category.
We'll check the administrative regulation. And my view would be is if they ran it out it's going to go through ML schedules and an invoice will be generated and they will be billed.
Right, if they
Whether
do.
they share or not.
Well, I mean any category, because we don't charge for category A, but it's my understanding that we have had custodians and people come in on the weekends and they don't cancel. You know, I understand inclement weather and things, you know, that emergency stuff happens, but apparently this has been a problem and we still have to pay our custodians by law. You have to, they show up for work, you gotta pay them. I do see, like I said, the security deposit, not that we talked about, but even if it's a no-charge category, it doesn't matter.
Does that have to be revamped, the wording at
I'm
all?
gonna look into it
We
because
just
we,
made it as part of the administrative regulations.
yeah,
Okay, because she's right.
yeah.
That was
it's-
discussed, that happens.
And I think that if they do several no-shows or they don't pay, then it doesn't matter again what category they should be
We
suspended
just
from.
can't do blanket reservations, I think is what we're saying. It can't just be a blanket reservation just to hold it just in case.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then 712 was that grant, and where are we on spend of that grant?
Oh, they're still coming in. They're still coming in. This is part of the AI courses that we're doing. We still have design, we're still in the design phase for the middle school and the high school lab. So that'll be a significant chunk as well. We already approved, I think it was Ed and Vision Plus for the professional development, so we're starting to eat up some of the chunk of the funds, yeah. But we're excited about this AI course and we have a cybersecurity course too, so, yep.
I see over time, as we go through that,
Yep.
we just ultimately get a
Yep.
update on how much we have spent versus what we got in the grant.
Actually, Mike has to do that, I think. I think we need to do that
For the grant,
quarterly. We could,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, if you'll include us on that, it'd be good to see.
We have the Google Doc.
Yeah,
You and I keep
yeah.
track of
Okay,
Yeah, we have it.
okay, thanks.
Anytime anything is spent from there, we track it.
Yeah.
Back on 7.1, maybe I missed anyone saying that. In our Gateway School District, do we have numbers indicating children and youth experiencing homelessness?
Yes. Yeah.
Did we ever mention that? How many,
I had that number last year. Let me, I can get you the number.
okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Again, that probably fluctuates a lot,
Fluctuate, yes.
in and out.
Yeah, approximate. I don't remember. Yeah.
Just roughly.
And whose definition of homeless? Because several different organizations.
One little clarity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that broken down by like,
Some people define, and I think we do, define homelessness as being doubled up. It's not, you
The
know,
McKinney-Vento, that's what we
yeah.
do.
Like
You mean living with other,
family or relatives, yeah, that would be
and
considered
that's
like
considered,
homeless. Yes, yeah, living with a relative. You know, your first thought when you think of homeless, unfortunately, is living under a bridge, but there's so many definitions of homeless, and basically it's just not having your own place, regardless on where you're at. If you're not in your own place, it's still homeless, yeah.
Are you gonna cover how many kids in kindergarten we ended up with? Is that one on your slides?
Coming in, it does not, we're around, we're roughly 230.
Wow.
We thought we'd be around 246, 243, so we may get there. We
Yeah.
get
We have 3
tomorrow,
days.
yeah, so we're.
Does anybody have any more questions on section 7?
that's even on another area, but I saw the label N through 12, and I know K through 12, PK through 12. What's N through 12?
Where did you see that?
When I was looking at the, one minute. Under this cyber.
Oh, that's certificate, that's certifications. Kevin, do you happen to know what the end, on the certifications?
seriously?
For a daycare.
Oh, so it'd be like daycare. It's for
Okay, so
daycare.
that precedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were just certifications that were listed, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have any more questions on section 7? No, okay, Mr. Zarellis is gonna go over section 8, and these two are action items.
Thanks, Mr. McBride. Item 8.1, approve Weiss Burkhardt Kramer LLC to file the annual tax appeals for the 2026 tax year with Allegheny County as per the attached list. Item 8.2, approve the third amendment to the lease agreement, the Allegheny Intermediate Unit for Suite 101 and Mosside Middle School.
So moved. Second.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Zarellis under number 8?
For the tax appeals, that's what we're appealing, that's not what other people have appealed.
It's just-
We're not, okay.
Yeah, it's just for, and it has to be filed by September 2nd. Remember, they moved it
Yep.
up to make it easier for us to budget. And there's no cost involved till it goes to the county level, to the court.
Anybody have any other questions on number 8? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Burns? Aye. Mrs. Delaney?
Aye.
Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Ms. Mungo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warning?
Aye.
Mrs. Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Bova?
Aye.
Mr. Zarellis, section 9.
Thank you, Mr. McBride. Item 9.1, approve the purchase of a 3-year subscription for the Crisis Go Emergency Response Planning, Management, and Communication Tool for following years and amounts as listed. Item 9.2, approve the quote from Century Mat Solutions for resting room and wall mats in the amount of $41,776. Item 9.3, approve the First Amendment to the Business Manager's Contract for Michael Zarellis to July 31st, 2026. Item 9.4, resolve that the Gateway Board of School Directors approves the following compensation for the real estate tax collectors of the municipality of Monroeville elected for the 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2026 as listed. Item 9.5, resolve that the Gateway Board of School Directors approve the following compensation for the real estate tax collectors for the Borough of Pitcairn elected for the 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2026 as listed. Item 9.6, approve the continued participation and or new participation to join cooperative purchasing groups, agreements, and contract for the 25-26 fiscal year as listed. Item 9.7, exoneration of district real estate tax collectors for the 24-25 fiscal year as listed.
Anybody have any questions in section 9?
So 9.2 for the mats, I know the pictures had a lot more damage than just the mats, so is that encompassing all the repairs to the wrestling room or just the mats?
Dawn, can you answer that?
Dawn, that's for the walls, correct, and the mats?
Yes, that is a large portion of the refurbishment. There's going to be some wall wraps as well, like we have in the different areas of the high school that'll update the decor in there. They've already, the facilities had already changed to all the LED lights. It looks much better. And then ultimately, there might be a new divider that we use in the middle of the room. The initial total that we budgeted was $60,000. We think that this is a great start, and I think we're going to be under budget for completing the rest of the steps to bring this room up to the status of many of our other athletic facilities. It was definitely the next facility that needed some love. It hasn't really seen a refurbishment in probably almost 20 years.
Yeah, because I think there was a door and some other stuff
Some
that
frame-
needed to be done.
yes, yep.
We have John Walsh, do you have a time frame for the door repairs?
At this point, I do not.
Okay.
The table, Dawn, I think you're referencing, that table looked pretty bad, but that's not what you're referencing here for price.
That table was in addition to, that was the trainer's room table that you, that was in there
So that would
too.
be anything
That was
additional.
right, I don't think that was included in there, I just included that picture, yeah, that, right, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then what is 9.1? Is that safe to say, or is that something different?
Actually, we have a slide for that Michael can go over.
Okay.
Yep. And we're gonna try to seek grants for that as well, but we haven't secured any.
Any other questions in section 9? No board member resolutions. Do we have any comments from residents? Any comments from Shirley? Okay.
All right. Micah, you want to throw up the slide deck? Here we go. See if it works. Hey, just a reminder, August 21st is first day of school for grades 1 through 12. That's also their kindergarten orientation day. So we're excited about the return of our students. We had in-service day today, and the district kickoff is tomorrow. Just a big shout out and thank you, really to everyone. This was really a team effort. I want to thank People Services, Tara McCrowan, for kind of facilitating and organizing the event. Yeah, there's the Italian ice. Yeah, thank Janet as well, who really stepped up and helped. I think we RSVPs and total show was probably around over 1,000. So it was just a great showing, and just wanted to thank everyone for their time, effort, and energy. So just some backpack giveaways. We did run out of backpacks, so next year we'll know. I think we had close to 300 or more backpacks, or may have been even more than that.
The backpacks went in the first hour.
They were, yeah. We had the robotics there, which was a big hit. The Quasics, let's see, the Gator. All the principals were there talking to parents. We had the Skyward overviews as well, trip registration. So it was just a nice event for the families. Also, I wanted to shout out to our student tech support help desk students. They've done an outstanding job. They've been here, I think, all summer, really, swapping out machines. And so those are the devices. Teachers would come in, as you can see there, and we have our students helping with that. That's just an awesome job from our tech department and what they're able to do with our students, giving them the skills necessary really to walk out. Could walk out of here right now and land probably an IT job. So they're doing just an outstanding job. So kudos to them, great job. This is more down the line, just to give you a heads up that we were selected to administer the NAEP, which is the National Assessment of Educational Progress. This won't happen until the spring. We have no say in this. We were told it's grade 8, and so they're going to be assigned to it. So not only do they take the PSSA, they take the NAEP as well.
To report to a U.S. Department of Education group that currently has 3 employees in it.
Right.
Used to have 100, now has 3.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hand information to the U.S. Department of Education to do absolutely nothing with it,
We'll get it back the year the 8th grade graduates college.
if you're lucky.
Right.
So that's coming. Some transportation information. Just have 2 slides, Kevin.
Yeah, so we are asking all families to verify their transportation for their children in Skyward. The high school is dismissing 15 minutes early for the first 3 days, just to allow for some extra travel time to middle school and elementary school. Yeah, we ask for everyone's patience those couple of days as the drivers, make sure that students get off at the appropriate stops and that everyone gets home safely. Always remind students and their families to make sure that the children arrive 10 minutes before the designated pickup stop. And we do require a parent or caregiver to be at the bus stop for kindergarten and first grade students for pickup and drop-off times. So there is a transportation hotline. Please leave a message. We have several people manning that for the time being, as well as the transportation email address that is listed up there, transportation@gatewayk12.org. And we're helping facilitate any requests and changes that come through with our contacts down at STA or if need be Stoshan. So please keep on top of it.
We're also paying close attention to the fact that Monroeville is doing a lot of the streets, and there could be tie-ups with the streets, and there could.
Yes, my
Your area, your
Yes,
neighborhood,
yes.
my neighborhood
Yeah.
is waiting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder if
Down
we
here
should,
as well, yeah.
yeah, keep an eye on
Yeah.
that because it's going to be impacting buses.
Our procedure is if there is a delay, if a bus breaks down, or if there's some change, the STA will notify the building principal who's affected, and they will be communicating through Parent Square any delays or changes in transportation. Also, just a courtesy reminder to all members of the community that school is starting. Buses are out there, so please slow down. Be on the lookout for children crossing the street, standing at stops, and just take extra caution to ensure that they're safe, both to and from school and back home again.
And this next piece is something new this year. It's called the Standard Response Protocol. We were trained probably 2 weeks ago. We have another one on the agenda just in case we want to get any folks trained. This was actually on the news, I think, last week with the state police kind of endorsing this. So we're one of the first that are doing this. So we're going to kind of just go through what this means. So it's beyond the lockdown anymore. So these are just some of the, we won't go into great detail, but just share some information with you on what it is. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Chakey and Officer Wazo.
Okay. Yeah, it's just an idea to get a common language when we talk about this. Sometimes in schools we'll refer to a lockdown, but maybe it's a modified lockdown. So we don't want to have any gray area there. So we have some extra categories there, like for example, a hold. That may be something going on in the building where maybe a student's having a seizure or something like that. You're just in a hold situation. It's not a lockdown where it's a very, very serious situation with an outside threat or something like that. It's just holding in students in the classroom just in an attempt to clear the halls. Next part is secure. Is that when there's a threat outside of the building, if there's something happening in the neighborhood and we don't want students to be outside, we'll go into a secure. And then this next one, this lockdown, is very serious compared to the term that we used in the past. This is when Alice kicks in. This is when there's something serious, a threat inside of the building, and teachers will turn the lights out, get out of the way of the door, kind of go in an area within the classroom, and that's when the whole Alice protocol kicks in. And we also have the evacuate and then a shelter if needed as well. But it's going to be common language and be able to streamline this process to ensure that all of our students and staff are safe within our district.
Is this just our district or they all use those?
This is our district. There are a few, I think, not many in Western Pennsylvania, but throughout the country there are, but not as many in Western Pennsylvania.
Like that, the first one, the Hold'em one?
Yes.
Is that
yeah.
something new?
That's new language we'll be using, yeah.
I like that.
So if a kid there may be a kid who got sick in the hallway, and you want to clear the hallway, you just call a hold.
Emergency responders can
Yeah.
fly down the hallway.
Yeah. And a secure could even be, I think it was secure, there could be a stray dog on the playground. We want the kids until we find that out if it was a stray dog or if the owner's nearby. It could be something as simple as that.
Or a raccoon
Yeah.
wander in the building. I did have that happen once.
And then Crisis Go is going to kind of complement all of this, and our plan is to roll this out with staff in October. So Mike, I just want to give a quick summary of what Crisis Go is. It was on the agenda as well.
Yeah, Crisis Go complements the new security protocols. It lets us maintain that communication stream during all those different types of emergencies. And it lets us include people who traditionally would be difficult to communicate with. So substitute teachers who may only be in a building for a day will be able to communicate with them in those emergencies. So it just allows everything to flow much better and subdivide some of those emergencies when needed.
Okay.
Will they communicate from cell phones?
It could be cell phones or a school-issued device. Yep.
And we ask that parents and students make themselves familiar with cell phone guidelines. These are posted in communication sent to families. Basically, the gist of it is that we want instructional time to be protected and not have cell phones and some of the electronic devices be a distraction, but we also want to have them there in certain other circumstances. So just kind of read through that with your child before the first days of school.
Are we making parents like agree and sign to that, or students agree and sign, or is just, we just sent it out informationally?
I believe it was on Skyward for,
It wasn't a sign off, it was just
It
sent
was
as
not a sign-off?
No, as a flyer, it was sent as a flyer, just communicating it to
We,
families.
we probably need to make it a sign off so people are
Well-
specifically aware. Especially when
And is there
we say
anything
about keeping-
different on there from previous school years?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
It's all going to be about implementation. We're going over this with teachers too. The principals did today, we'll be hitting it tomorrow again as well. So it's going to be about implementation of the guidelines. Okay, thank you.
That we did not have any board committee reports in this last month.
I'd like to say something on the board committee. Ordinarily, we were probably going to have a curriculum and DEI meeting. Dr. Threep unexpectedly, her mother-in-law passed, so she and her husband are right now and is still in grieving. It was just a few weeks ago. It was very sudden.
Do we have a clue as to when we might get
questions? Go ahead, John.
So just want to let everybody know that the board had a partial retreat a couple weeks ago. Took a lot of notes. I put them into my computer, so I'll polish those up, send them out to everybody, even the ones that weren't there. And since we only got about halfway through our list of 31 topics to talk about, we thought it might be good to have another meeting on a Sunday so that more people might be able to attend. I'm thinking it might be good so that we don't have to have Gateway employees come and let us into the building. Just to go down to the public library here, they have a meeting room there, Sunday, September 7th, from 1 to 3 p.m. So if you could, go ahead and see if you've got an empty slot on your calendar for that. And if we get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that would justify having a meeting down there, we can pick up where we left off and carry some of our thoughts forward.
Sunday, library is closed.
Sunday, the library is closed?
Yes.
All right, so we could have it here. That'd be all right on a Sunday?
You know, John, there's also like, Panera's have a big meeting room in the back if you don't want to
We
use.
held it at the Allegheny Health Network cafeteria room up there sometime. So we'll find a place for it. But do people, in other words, do we prefer a Sunday afternoon? Or do we want to shoot for a Saturday afternoon?
It always depends.
Depends.
My Saturday.
See, that's not a good answer.
Depends on what Saturday is.
Yes.
I know.
I'm booked
So
every
September
Saturday.
6th or 7th?
I'm booked every Saturday.
So let's shoot for Sunday, because we did a Saturday last time. We'll shoot for Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. somewhere. Okay?
You'll let us know where somewhere is, so we're not
Well,
on
it
the
depends
street.
on how many people. We only have 3. We could have it at my house. If we have 9 or 10 or 11, then we need to have it some.
And they do have places like in back of Panera.
Right.
Just so you know, and you can eat.
Can I just ask a question too? Mr. Walsh, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're talking about safety, security. On Gateway Middle, the hallways that we have coming out on 48, there's no way to get back into the building from over there.
That
Am
is
I-
correct.
Okay, do you feel that it's good to be like that? Because what happens if someone's outside and tries to get in, there's no swipe, there's nothing that can access to get in? If anybody knows what I'm talking about, when you go,
The wings.
Officer, do you want to discuss that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm aware there are some doors you can't swipe from the outside to get in. I don't know exactly which ones they are. I know they were looking into them, but I don't know what their answer was ultimately.
Which doors?
Okay, so the hallways that they put at Gateway Middle, those 4,
The new
correct, the new wings.
phase
You can't, if you're outside at that way and try to get back in, you can't get in, you have to go all the way around the building. So in case if there is an emergency and you need to get in, you can't get in those back doors from 48.
Wonder why that wasn't considered when,
What, are you suggesting a swipe or?
Well, I'm suggesting, do you feel there should be a way that they could get in from that way? If
think
there's
we-
somebody,
Yeah, yeah, and you know what, let's for safety protocol reasons, let's have
Okay.
this.
Can we schedule a buildings and grounds meeting and have this discussion there? I know John has a lot, he's very busy right now, but when would we have a meeting to have that?
Monday during our CAD meeting, we were going to have the admin designees reach out to the chairs to kind of schedule, at least through December, some of the meetings.
Yeah, for this part of the
Yep.
year, so everybody knows, because Susan was saying, so we would have a drift as to when we would
Yep.
do this. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All in favor?